Good evening. I think it's working. Is that just the echo? Okay. Good evening. The Conejo Valley Unified School District Board of Education regular board meeting of October 22nd, 2025 will please come to order. Pursuant to the Ralph M. Brown Act, this is a meeting of the Board of Education in public, and only items on the agenda will be discussed this evening. We invite you to join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I would like to welcome everyone to the meeting and would like to make the following announcements. As you may have noticed, we are having some audio problems tonight, so we will all be trying to speak louder for those in the room to make sure you can hear us. However, the sound going out to our streaming platform should be working just fine. And it may be changing as we go here. The board values your input on the important education matters we face. Therefore, the district is providing multiple opportunities for public participation. Public viewing is available through internet live stream on the CVUSD website. Please note the different opportunities to provide public or written comments to the board can be found on the main page of the board agenda. Members of the public wishing to submit a written comment had the option to email their comments to sfellman@conejousd.org by 3 p.m. today. Board members were provided with these written comments prior to this meeting. Persons wishing to address the board in person should fill out a blue speaker's card and hand it to Mrs. Fellman at the secretary's desk. If you wish to speak on a specific agenda item, please turn in your card prior to that item section of the agenda. If the school district business you wish to speak about is not on the agenda, please turn in your card before the public comment section of the agenda. If you intend to donate time to another speaker, please hand in both speaker cards at the same time to Mrs. Fellman. If you wish to register your concern but not speak at the podium, please fill out a yellow public statement form and turn it in at the secretary's desk. Board members will be provided with these statements after the board meeting. Please be advised that a recording of this meeting is being made and broadcast for our live stream audience, and the recording and the broadcast may capture images and sounds of those attending the meeting. Smoking is not permitted in this building or anywhere on district property. Copies of the agenda are available on the table in the board lobby, and please silence all mobile phones. We are at item 2D. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
President Powell.
Yes, Trustee Sylvester.
I move that we approve the agenda as submitted.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll vote. Trustee Kearns.
Yes.
Trustee Gorbach.
Yes.
Trustee Goldberg.
Yes.
Trustee Gill.
Yes.
Trustee Sylvester.
Yes.
I'm a yes. Motion carries 5-0 with a preferential yes vote from Trustee Kearns. We're now at item 2E, student recognition. We are going to be recognizing some of our NPHS strings students, and we have Mr. Steve Lapierre here with our students to honor and recognize them. The floor is yours.
Good evening, Board President Powell, trustees, Dr. McLaughlin, and leadership team. Thank you for having us here tonight. I'll say it like I say it every time. Any night we get to recognize some of our outstanding students here in this school district, it's my pleasure to be here. First, I want to recognize high school students selected to perform at Carnegie Hall through the Honors Performance Series are chosen through a highly competitive national audition process that recognizes exceptional musical talent and dedication. Students submit an application that includes performance recordings, teacher recommendations, and a summary of their musical experience. A panel of expert adjudicators reviews each submission and selects the most accomplished vocalists and instrumentalists to represent their schools and communities on this prestigious Carnegie Hall stage. Participation in this series is one of the highest achievement for young musicians, offering them the opportunity to collaborate with master conductors and perform in one of the world's most celebrated concert venues. Before recognizing our students, I want to take a moment and recognize our orchestra director, Mrs. Tina Wong, who does a fantastic job, not only with our students here, but cultivating those students that start as beginners. So have a round of applause for Mrs. Wong. And at this time, it's my pleasure to recognize the following students selected to play as part of the 2026 Carnegie Hall Honor Orchestra. Mia Marshall. Mia. Joanna Ree. Mia. And Elizabeth Wu.
We are now at item 2F, public comments. The CVUSD Board of Education wants to hear from students, parents, employees, and our community. All individuals have the right to provide public comments during our school board meetings under Government Code Section 549543. Comments regarding specific items listed on tonight's agenda must be made when that agenda item is called. If you wish to speak on a topic that is not on tonight's agenda, now is the time to provide your public comment. If you have not already done so and wish to speak, please hand in your blue card to Mrs. Fellman. Please note that if you have any materials to hand to board members, please provide those materials to Mrs. Fellman for distribution to the board. Pursuant to the Brown Act, the board cannot undertake any action or discussion on items not on tonight's posted agenda. However, members of the board or its staff may briefly reply to comments or questions posed by the public. Usually, we will wait until the end of the public comment period before responding. As our meetings are held in public, your comments will be heard by those who are attending or watching a broadcast. In addition, the board encourages students to participate in student affairs, civic affairs. Therefore, we hope that students are watching this meeting or in tonight's audience. Please be mindful of that, and please make your comments factual and offer them in a respectful manner. In compliance with all applicable state and federal laws, the governing board strives to respect the privacy rights of students and employees during our meetings. This includes the right for the identities of students to remain confidential. We also ask that speakers be sensitive to our employees' legal rights to privacy and confidentiality. As a reminder, those requesting to speak at this time will speak on items that are not on the board agenda. Please note that speakers' cards will not be accepted once the board starts the public comments agenda item with the first speaker. Mrs. Fellman, do we have any public comments? Okay. With no public comments, we're moving on to our action items. 3A, do I have a motion?
President Powell,
Yes, Trustee Sylvester.
I move that we adopt annual resolution number 25/26-11 in support of Native American Heritage Month as submitted.
Thank you.
President Powell.
Yes.
I second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll vote. Trustee Kearns.
Yes.
Trustee Goldberg.
Yes.
Trustee Gill.
Yes.
Trustee Sylvester.
Yes.
Trustee Gorbach.
Yes.
I'm a yes. Motion carries 5-0 with a preferential yes vote from Trustee Kearns. Item 3B. Do I have a motion?
President Powell.
Yes. Trustee
I move that we approve the annual resolution 25/26-13, National School Psychology Week.
Thank you.
President Powell,
Yes.
I second that motion.
Thank you. It has been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on this? Seeing none, we'll vote. Trustee Kearns.
Yes.
Trustee Gill.
Yes.
Trustee Sylvester.
Yes.
Trustee Gorback.
Yes.
Trustee Goldberg.
Yes.
I am a yes. Motion carries 5-0 with a preferential yes vote from Trustee Kearns. Item 3C. Do I have a motion?
President Powell,
Yes, Trustee Gill.
I move that we approve the contract for Deputy Superintendent Business Services, Dr. Hayek.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Yes, I'd just like to make note that Dr. Hayek's salary is the same salary as he held for the start of this school year and last year. He does not have a salary increase noted within this contract. He does have an additional 3 days of work added to it, so there would be a 3 days of salary increase based on that, but it's not an increase to his overall daily rate. With that, wondering why Dr. Hayek's is today. All three assistant soups and deputy soup and myself are all started our positions at a different time, so these contracts come up randomly based on their renewal date. So myself and Mr. Liu was brought forward last year at 2 different times. Dr. Hayek's contract is up for tonight, and Ms. Ashmore's will be brought forward at some point next year. So just to give some background to the community on how the 4 of us at the district level who have individual contracts, how that works. With that, that's
Thank you for that. Any other comments or questions before we vote? Please note that Trustee Kearns will not participate in voting in this item as it pertains to a personnel matter. So voting, Trustee Gorback.
Yes.
Trustee Goldberg.
Yes.
Trustee Sylvester.
Yes.
Trustee Gill.
Yes.
I'm a yes. Motion carries 5-0. We are now at Section 4, our consent agenda.
President Powell,
Yes.
I move that we approve the consent agenda as submitted.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll vote. Trustee Kearns.
Yes.
Trustee Sylvester.
Yes.
Trustee Gorback.
Yes.
Trustee Gill.
Yes.
Trustee Goldberg.
Yes.
I'm a yes. Motion carries 5-0 with a preferential yes vote from Trustee Kearns. We're now at Section 5, and our first item is a presentation on the AVID program. And I'm handing it over to Mr. Liu first, correct? Thank you all for being here.
We're going to have Mr. Shane Frank, one of our instructional directors, who does many things in our instructional service department, kick us off. But I do want to really thank and just express our thanks and our gratitude to our 3 amazing teachers that are here. Whenever we have the opportunity to hear directly from our teachers, it is always a great opportunity for us to learn about the important work that is happening at our schools. So with that, I'll pass along to Mr. Frank.
Thank you, Mr. Liu. Good evening, President Powell, Dr. McLaughlin, distinguished board, district leadership. I'm Shane Frank, director. With me, I have Mr. Miles Minton from Newberry Park High School, Mrs. Eileen Moore from Thousand Oaks High School, and Mr. David Pulsifer from Westlake High School. These represent 3 of our comprehensive high schools and our AVID teams. Just a little bit about AVID. AVID stands for Advancement via Individual Determination. This is nothing new. It's been around since the 80s. It started in San Diego in 1 class with 32 kids. Now it's 47 states wide, serving 7,400 schools and over 2.5 million students. And in our district this year, 320 AVID students. AVID is aligned with our district LCAP and our goals, really making sure that we're providing opportunities for students to meet the metrics that are in our college and career readiness programs with the College Career Readiness Indicator that's on the California dashboard. And more importantly, it really does expand that access and increases services for unduplicated students, whether they're multi-language learner, foster, McKinney-Vento, and our low-income students. Of course, when you have great programs and great kids, you want to send our teachers who stand in front of those students every day to great professional development and training. So part of Goal 2 is making sure that we have qualified and effective staff, and we have some great highly qualified and effective staff here tonight joining us to share the story of AVID. We do go to conferences every summer. There's institutes that are there virtually and in person. It also helps supply our students with student planners, other supplies, cords at graduation, and then always looking to expand. We're seeing a lot of success with our students through the AVID program. And to hear a little bit more about what actually AVID is, I'd like to invite Mr. Miles Menton to the stage.
Good evening, board and audience. I'm Miles Minton from Newbury Park High School, AVID elective teacher and site coordinator. I'll be starting us off today with an overview of what AVID is and essentially who participates in the AVID elective at our schools. So as Mr. Frank said, AVID stands for Advanced Via Individual Determination, and its mission really is to close the opportunity gap and to support those students who may be underserved. And how we do that is through college and career readiness, essential skills, and a focus on the AVID elective standards. And there's another acronym that falls under AVID, and that is WeCore, and that stands for Writing, Inquiry, Collaboration, Organization, and Reading. So in the AVID elective teacher supports their students in these skills to be successful not only in their high school classes, but also successful in more rigorous academic classes like AP, IB honors, and dual enrollment in college courses. It is a direct support for college-bound students. These are students who have a willingness and an urge to attend a four-year institution, and they can get there, but with our support, we're able to help them with meeting their needs. So regarding who participates in the AVID program, it's really those who show academic and a potential for being admitted and successful at a four-year school with support of the AVID elective. And in that, it really represents generally the student population who kind of fall in the middle. So they might have a GPA between a 2.0 and a 3.5. A large percentage of AVID students come from underrepresented populations. Maybe they're multilingual learners, Foster and McKinney-Vento. Maybe they come from a low socioeconomic status. And many of them are first-time college goers from their families. And so what we do is we seek out these students who have the willingness and the drive to attend a four-year university, and we can support them through AVID in those classes and their ability to eventually be successful in more rigorous curriculum and classes such as that. So it's with the AVID support.
Good evening. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what we do in the AVID elective. It's good to be here in front of you again tonight, but this time I get to talk about I'm passionate about everything that I've presented to you before. But if you're talking about ranking them, this is it. I love AVID. My introduction to AVID started in 2008. So we're at year 17. 15 years in the AVID elective. The list of accomplishments of students that have graduated from my AVID classes is long. We would be here a long time. So I am extremely excited to be here and to present and share with you my passion for AVID here tonight. So what we do in the AVID elective So we have our AVID framework, our CCR framework up there. We look at what we're trying to get the students to. So you'll see the student agency, and you'll see the rigorous academic preparedness, and you'll see the opportunity knowledge. So that triangle there, that's what we're looking for the students. And these are different things that we do. The list of things that we do in the AVID elective, we can't put all those things on the slide. So we're just highlighting some of those main categories and main things that, that we try to accomplish in our AVID elective class. Just want to highlight a couple things. We talk about the student agency. We talk about the building relationships. One of the best parts of the AVID program is the relationship building. If you look at the CCR framework, you'll see on the bottom of the triangle, the foundation is that relational capacity. Everything that we do in the AVID elective is building that relational capacity, not just between students, but also between students and teacher. There's many studies talking about the importance of relationships with our student population, that goes with any population, right? It doesn't necessarily need to be at-risk kids. It's all students. All students benefit from that relational capacity, and that's our foundation. So everything we do is focused in on that. We do have AVID tutorials, which is a foundational piece. We do that twice a week. That's an opportunity for students to collaborate together. Once again, we talked about pushing them into these rigorous classes, into our AP, our honors, our IB, our dual enrollment, but providing that support, knowing that they may need a little bit of extra assistance to be successful in those courses, and that's where those collaborative study groups go and serve those students. I can speak from my experience. That collaboration was the only reason I got a college degree. And there's one person in the audience I can thank for that. Collaborated together many days. So, and then college tours, field trips, our students love those. We go to, we've been to CSUN, we've been to Channel Islands, Kowloon, try to keep it somewhat local. We talked about the support already. There are scholarships where students need to participate in a college readiness program. Top of that list is Dell Scholars. Dell Scholars, in order to be eligible for that scholarship, they have to participate in a college readiness program. The one that we offer here in the district is AVID, and that's a $20,000 scholarship. They get a free computer, they get support, they get, the list goes on of things that students have received, or that students receive with that scholarship. I haven't had students in here since I've been here. I've only been here 4 years, but I have had 3 students, prior AVID students, that have been in my class that have received that Dell Scholars award. So it's fantastic. It's a great scholarship. And then, of course, it does fulfill the G requirement for the A through G requirements. So one of the things that we look at or that we do in the AVID program, and we've kind of talked about these already here tonight, but we also the AVID program also believes in supporting teachers on campus, all teachers on campus. And so AVID has this foundations of instruction, which is, you'll see the 5 categories up there at the top. These are categories that AVID believes are important for all teachers to support all students. Once again, not talking about just students that are in the AVID elective, but all students on our campus. So that's what you're seeing there with the positive relationships, appropriate environment, clear learning objectives, diagnostic teaching, and strategic lesson design. Looking at the positive impact of a positive relationship on student success. Can't emphasize that enough. We've talked about improving the accessibility to AP honors, dual enrollment for all students, and then providing the professional development in the summer. I think I've been to 14 summer institutes, and now I have the privilege of facilitating during those for the summer, and it is everything. This is where it started. Everything that has shaped me as a teacher started with my first AVID Summer Institute in 2008. It's that's formed me and shaped me into who I am as a teacher. So I can't speak highly enough of the impact that Avid has had on me as an educator, as well as the students that have come through my classroom.
I just want to note that when we talk about the professional development that goes with Avid, that takes place in San Diego, and it's a full week. So you think of all the years times 5 days, times all the hours that you've been in those presentations. I mean, it just shows a lot of effort on your end and giving up a week of your summer vacation to attend. So we appreciate that.
I've never thought, I mean, because I love it so much, I've never thought about it that way. I can't wait for the summer to go to those summer institutes. It's the highlight of my summer. I don't have results. You have results? Am I doing results? Yes. Oh, I'm doing results. Okay, I'm doing results too. So results. So what you see here about on the right is just a chart that looks at the Avid results in California. So one of the things that Avid does is it collects data on all of its sites. The data is expansive. There's lots of data that they look at, but obviously when we talk about results, we're looking at students that meet college graduation or college entrance requirements. So we're looking at students' graduation rates. And what you see here is you see that these Avid students are meeting these requirements at a higher percentage than students that are not in the Avid elective. So that's what you're looking at on the right side of the screen. These are just some of the results that also that Avid looks at, and that there's data to support raising the student achievement. We'll see here in a few slides, there is some data that I've put on a slide that I track that talks about the raising student achievement, supports college access and success. Once again, we'll look at some data for that. Persistence rates, so looking at that retention rate, students starting college and then continuing through, because we know that retention rate, colleges track that, and you can see that retention rate can be as low as 40% at some colleges. So getting these students to have those skills necessary to persevere and to continue on, knowing that it's going to be difficult, it's going to be hard, but we've prepared them for that. That's where we're seeing those higher persistent rates. And in the mission statement, it talks about closing the opportunity and expectation gaps. We're looking at taking these students that may be underachieving. This is our target demographic, students that have the potential to be successful and to take these rigorous courses, but for whatever reason, maybe they don't believe in themselves, maybe they don't have anybody telling them that they can do it. We're providing that encouragement and providing that support where they learn that, hey, you know what? I can do this. Maybe this is for me. And then increase enrollment in those advanced academic classes. And there's some data that we can look at for that. Yep. So at Westlake, when I started in 2021, I had 15 students, 9 through 12. And this year I actually have 160, I think. So last year I had 150. So we've 10 times grown the program in the 4 years that I've been over at Westlake. The graph on the right side looks at AP student enrollment. There is an outlier there. It's kind of difficult to track on this graph, but if you look at the 9th grade 2023, those students would be in 10th grade in 2024. They would be in 11th grade in 2025. So if you look at that group of students, you can see the increase in the AP enrollment year to year. And we're encouraging them to do that. And that's not just AP classes, that's also dual enrollment courses, as well as honors, getting them in those honors classes. You can look at the percentage or the year-to-year growth. So what you're seeing is when I first started at Westlake, I focused in on recruiting in the middle schools so I could get a solid 9th grade class. So that's why in 2023, you're seeing that jump from 2022 to 2023 going from 7 to 53. So I started, and that's why the 10th grade and the 11th grade and the 12th grade are lower, because my focus was getting that solid 9th grade class. And And you're seeing them now continue through from year to year. So going to 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade. And this year we have 34 seniors that are in our AVID elective. And we got our first college acceptance letter this week. I'm just going to brag. So super excited about that. Also had a couple students that were notified that they are finalists for the Quest Bridge. So Quest Bridge is one of the top scholars. It's super, super competitive. So we got 2 finalists for that. They got notified that in class day before yesterday. No, it was yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. So super excited about that. We'll see what happens. So that's some of our data to support that. So last year seniors, I had 12. So 12 seniors, I had 35 college or university acceptance letters. We had over $500,000 in combined financial aid. So that's talking about your grants, your scholarships. I had 3 students that were awarded $20,000 scholarships, and then 46 students enrolled in it. So this is actually just not seniors, sorry. This is misleading there. 46 students enrolled in my program, enrolled in at least one dual enrollment course during their year last year. And that was one of our fun field trips. The Clippers put on an AVID day. And so we got to go down early, and they had a panel of executives in the Clippers organization. They got to hear about what their jobs were, what their responsibilities were, what they had to do to get those jobs. They got to play on the court before the game. That was super fun. And then that's a group of seniors from last year. We went to CSUN. So that's a brief, very brief rundown on what we're doing over at Westlake.
Hello, everybody. I am definitely the new kid on the block. This is my first year at TO being an AVID teacher. I've been interested in it for a long time, but this was the first year I was invited. I went to the training in the summer, and everything we're doing is eye-opening for me. It's very fulfilling. Just to give you some idea, we may not have grown with quite the exponential dimension that Mr. Pulsifer talked about, but we have shown significant growth. We started small with 1 teacher, 1 class, and 16 students, basically 8 years ago. And we are now at 3 classes, 3 teachers, and a total of 82 students. So making good inroads on that. We are experiencing great success with dual enrollment. Students taking AP exams who didn't think they would be able to, but they do, and they succeed. Their college readiness is improving. They're more aware of what the campuses are looking for and what they have to offer. And we are putting tremendous stress on their organizational skills focus, because these carry well beyond high school, well beyond college, into their career. They have a new appendage, their planner. It goes everywhere with them. And when you say, take out your planner and open to today's date, you can hear the simultaneous clicking of the binders opening, and they go in and they enter homework, after-school commitments, speakers that are coming, due dates for college letters, whatever it might be. They keep themselves very organized. It makes a huge difference. And we feature a lot of work with guest speakers coming to campus, not just through our College and Career Center, but actually into our classrooms. We've had former graduates come and talk about their path. We had one recent graduate, just graduated in 2025, and she showed her path to scholarships, grants, and acceptance. She's now enrolled at UC Riverside on a full scholarship and looking forward to a career in public policy, wants to become an immigration lawyer and open her own practice to serve the people of Ventura County. She is a typical AVID student. Didn't think she could do it, but she believed, and we believed, and she did it. We have also had a presentation by a 2019 graduate who went to Cal State Channel Islands, graduated with a degree in art. And everybody says, what the heck are you going to do with art? Well, guess what? She's doing wonderful things with art. She has discovered her niche, and it is branding and marketing. She is on a 1-year master's program at the West London Institute of Art, which is the 2nd-ranked marketing and branding institute in the world, with many other international students. And she fully admits she did it because of AVID. It got her believing in herself and expanding her perspectives. Next one. This gives you a little idea of what we're like out and about, and we like to think of ourselves as explorers. We have attended the Laverne College Fair for Latino students on a Saturday. We went with Dr. Riza from the Student Services Department and students from all TO, Westlake, and Newbury Park. We have College and Career Center visits, minimum of 6, programmed into our class time. We go as a group and listen to speakers. Just the other day, we went and heard University of Oregon. We've been to University of San Diego. We will be attending University of California, San Diego, and we also expect to be attending Cal State Northridge. All of these presenters come to campus, and the students are trained. They take notes, they ask questions, they go up and speak individually with the presenters, and it's eye-opening to see how much they can grow. We do a lot of outreach, and that's one of the things I think that's coming up here on the next slide. We pride ourselves as being ambassadors in the community. And let's see, next slide. There we are. Okay, we're everywhere. Monthly, we volunteer at the Adelante Comunidad Conejo, which is a free marketplace over at Bayer Park and Conejo Elementary. Upper left-hand corner there is a group of recent students who went and helped staff the food distribution. We do trunk or treat with CRPD. We just did it this last weekend, dressed my car up. I have a yellow bug, so you can imagine. We were minions. It came out pretty cute. Yellow bug car as a minion. All the students that were there had on their little beanies and their little cardboard goggles, and we took pictures with the kids and performed with the kids. It was fun. We have also participated on our own campus. We do back-to-school events every year, and we serve as volunteer guides for the parents, particularly those who may not be comfortable with English. And we have our multilingual learners within AVID serve as guides to the parents who may have their first experience of being on a big high school campus and they don't know where they're going. We participated in CRPD's Trasher Hunt over at Borchard Park, which of course is part of Coastal Cleanup Day. And the students were able to do something in their own neighborhood to make their impact on the environment. And something that I am probably most proud of at this point is a collaborative program that we have just begun with Conejo Valley Adult Education. I teach in their HiSET program there in the evenings, and I have long known that Laura Cifuentes has wanted to get something going in a collaboration with Thousand Oaks High School students. We have a group of about 20 AVID and Latino youth leadership students who are going through tutoring one-on-one with the adult English learners at CVAE. They had their first session last night. And it's called Power Hour. They've been trained by the literacy director and by Laura, and they are alternating through an hour each, one-on-one. Very proud of their accomplishment. They are tremendous examples of the compassion and community spirit of these AVID students. As you can see, part of it is we do require it. We want them to be part of the community. They need to feel a part of giving back. But then they get addicted and they want to keep doing it, which is a wonderful thing to see. So we're proud of ourselves. And you'll hear from some of the students at the end, and you'll be proud of them too.
Hello, everyone, again. It's such a pleasure to see the uniqueness of the AVID elective being implemented at the various school sites in Conejo Valley Unified School District. A little bit about me, I actually am a Newbury Park High School alumni, and I graduated in 2007, and I was able to get my teaching credential in history, and then I moved up to Monterey Bay, and then I was able to teach there, and then I was an activities director and a middle school AVID teacher. And then all of a sudden I got a phone call, or I saw that there was a job opening down here, and so I was lucky enough to come back to my home school. I think AVID is such a great program because it really places such an emphasis on the foundation of relational capacity. And if you don't have any kind of relational capacity or any kind of relation in your classroom, it makes it difficult for the students to feel comfortable, right? So that relational capacity component not just only stays in the AVID elective classroom, but it can go school-wide. And that's something that's happening right now at Newbury Park High School with our PBIS committee and school-wide expectations. At Newbury Park, we're a little unique. So we have a high school partnership with Dual Enrollment Pathway through the CCAP grant. And what that is all of our AVID students starting in 9th grade are on a dual enrollment pathway. So we have the benefit of having a block schedule, so our classes are around 100 minutes. And with those 100 minutes, we're able to instruct and provide the students with the skills necessary to be successful in these college dual enrollment programs. So if you look at this image here, you can see as a freshman, they start with Counseling MO5, which really is kind of in line with the college readiness skills. And then they go on to music appreciation, and this year in 10th grade, they're starting with communications, which is public speaking, and then sociology, and so forth. So 100% of our AVID students last year, when we revamped and started embedding and braiding AVID to this dual enrollment program, they all passed their first 2 dual enrollment classes as 9th graders with an A or an B. Which was very impressive. And it mirrors the rigorous improvement or the rigorous gap closing like it does at Westlake High School. So I loved watching or seeing that data represented. And we have acute data, right? Because all of our students that are in AVID are in rigorous classrooms, but they're able to do that because we have such a large period with so many minutes, and they get the support that they need to be successful. So our 9th and 10th grade students will be the first ones to use this new platform. Newbury Park High School is one of 3 schools in Ventura County to pilot this platform, and it's called the VCCCCD Dual Enrollment Pilot Program. So one of the most difficult things about college for young students is navigating the process, right? And so with this CCAP, we were able to achieve obtaining a wonderful college and career readiness counselor. And this is Ms. Laura Cuneo. And she is a great support to me, and we work very closely together. She comes into our room on a regular basis and helps the students sign up for these dual enrollment classes. Used to, you had to apply every year, and it's just quite the process. So we're just now piloting this new streamlined process to make it easier to navigate for the students. And so that's very exciting. We're aimed to increase access and participation in dual enrollment opportunities. The goal is by the time they are seniors and graduating, they have 30 units of college credit. So this is just started in 2024, last year. We saw some very great success, and then we went to middle schools and recruited and explained the dual enrollment pathway. And so we have built our 9th grade cohort to a classroom of 36. So we have 57 students right now, all of which are enrolled in a college dual enrollment class and passing with an A or an B with the support of the AVID elective and Ms. Laura Cuneo, who can help navigate them with the other side of college. So at Newbury Park, we have site goals. The Summer Institute is really great because it really opens your eyes and you're able to leave there inspired to bring Avid to not only the classroom, but kind of reach it out school-wide. And it doesn't stay in the classroom. It trickles out. And it's not just for students, but it's also to help educators as well. And this goes back to what David was saying, and that's the foundations of instruction. And so just best teaching practices like gradual release of responsibility and scaffolding appropriately, graphic organizers, having professional development at the beginning of the year focused on literacy for our English learners. This really supports our educators in supporting all students on campus. So last year, we were school-wide recognized. And with the data that we implemented this year, we reclassified it to be a school-wide site of distinction. And the next step would be getting certified as an Avid school-wide site. And that is really with the help of the things that we're doing at Newbury Park High School. So Avid supports our individual site initiatives. For example, we're implementing the MYP program at Newbury Park High School, and Avid's focus on skills and objectives and approaches to learning really tie very well with the MYP program. So it doesn't have to be the only initiative. It could be something that supports other initiatives as well. Our goals really are to continue to increase rigorous academic preparedness, and that is really based on developing calibrated common formative assessments and common summative assessments, and then we can analyze those, and that way we can collect the data and see the growth. And so that's going to increase data-driven instruction. And then in addition to that, we are focused on student agency and opportunity knowledge. So we really want to expand AP, MYP, IB, and dual enrollment and club participations for all students, and definitely these underrepresented groups of students as well. And that all falls back down to the foundation of the Avid, which is relational capacity. School-wide WeCore strategies, it's implemented Avid strategies across classrooms throughout, and it improves structured supports and instructional practices. So as a teacher, we're all literacy teachers at all levels. So it's not just about content and learning, it's skills and content. And I think Avid is the foundation of giving students the skills to master the content standards. And I couldn't be more thrilled to be a part of this program. I can tell you that it's very exciting to have students be cohorted and build that relationship over years, and I'm excited based off Westlake High School's data and our acute data mirroring that I'm really looking forward to the future at Newbury Park High School and where we're going. So, thank you.
Next, we have to hear from the mouths of the babes. This is the real work. So we have a few seniors and graduates that have participated in Avid. So let's just hear from them and their experience.
just really format essays and just the whole application process. Avid's also taught me how to apply for scholarships as well. It's taught me, what to apply for, what I'm eligible for. It's just helped me all along through my whole high school experience.
Hello, my name is Jose Hernandez, and I'm a graduated student from Dallas High School. I was an Avid for about 1 year. Avid really changed my high school experience when it came to a lot of things. Before I started Avid, I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and I just went with the flow of everything. I was in the present day every day, not knowing what I wanted to do when it came after high school. But once I joined Avid my senior year, that my teacher, Sandra Martinez, recommended to me, it really changed my perspective on a lot of things when it came to college. It was just an amazing club, and I just had a bunch of amazing classmates with me in order to having an amazing year. I was able to turn in a lot of scholarships. I applied to about 24 scholarships. Yeah, Avid also changed my perspective on challenging myself. I was able to take my AP Spanish class, and I took the test, and I was able to get a passing score, which helped me in college. I don't have to take that Spanish class no more. And then Avid is such a community-first program where we would go every 2 to 3 months, 2 to 3 times per month, to volunteer, and all these opportunities made me gain so much when it came to connecting with other people. And it's just, the people who run these programs are just wonderful people, and this program is just great in support to help students with college and their future goals. This is a future goal program, and it's just an amazing thing to do with everything.
If it wasn't for being an Avid and being in Ms. Martinez's class, I would not be in this room right now. Like, I work on campus. This is where I work. It's in the office I work at. I would not be here right now if it hadn't been for that class and for Ms. Martinez. Because I had no idea what I was going to do. I always assumed that I had to go to Moore Park or another community college. So I just assumed I would probably do that. But being an Avid, it really opened my eyes to see that all the hard work I put in the 4 years of high school actually did help and prepare me so that I could apply to higher education. As a first generation, a lot of times we're mainly figuring things out for ourselves, and it can be really stressful and hard because I wish I knew all the answers, but I don't. So being an Avid really was the guidance that I had in an area where I had no idea what I was doing. Avid did provide and was very helpful with dual enrollment. Having heard of it opened my eyes to finding out that I can take classes during my breaks, summer or winter. Being all these different opportunities have helped me and still help me to this day. A lot of times I still reference them. Thanks to Avid, I was able to network in high school. I was really shy and nervous, and I did not like to talk to people. But soon after I came out of my shell, it was honestly after meeting Ms. Martinez, I was able to get out of my shell. I was able to get involved to the right groups where I felt like I belonged, and I felt like I was doing something with purpose. It did help me stand out on college essays. Also for scholarship applications, Avid did make me stand out and made me seem more involved. It also for graduation got me a civic engagement cord. So I'm very thankful. I love all the people there. It was great. And if it weren't for them, again, I wouldn't be here. I hope that Avid will continue to guide and lead the next generation of high school students looking to pursue higher education. Avid made me believe that it was possible, and I'm sure that it will help and lead and give students the confidence to believe in themselves.
I was an Avid student from my sophomore year to my senior year. And now I'm a freshman at Cal State Channel Islands, and I'm studying early childhood studies. So the first question is, how did Avid change your high school experience? I think that Avid changed my high school experience by giving me more opportunities. It gave me the opportunity to have a path and understand what I was going to do.
Hey everyone, my name is Frank Gonzalez, and I was a part of Avid from my sophomore to my senior year, graduating 2025 recently. And I just want to talk to you guys about how Avid was and how it helped me out. Avid really changed my high school experience by just having more opportunities and opening up a lot of new connections, especially if you're in the automotive industry, you really are going to need it. And so it really did help me out a lot, and I feel like the other reason too is because the field trips that we had to different colleges kind of opened up the options that you had, kind of envisioning a day in the life of a college or university student, in that campus. And so it really gave me a vision of okay, this could be me on this campus, on a single day with doing this major, and the one that I chose was Ventura College. We did, I think, 2 trips to Ventura College, and it really stood out to me, their automotive program, which I am now in, and I will be graduating in 2027. It really stood out to me, and so I joined thanks to Avid, which it was really helpful. And I feel like that's another thing too, that if I never would have joined Avid, I would have never probably chosen Ventura College and would have gone off to God knows where. And so Avid really was helpful in college preparation too. They taught me how to do organization skills, time management, and how to basically not be in a lot of stress.
Having less stress is always important, yes. Questions from the board?
Thank you so much for that presentation. I know I've known about AVID for a long time through my work in LA County schools, but I realized at some point last year I didn't know really a lot about what CVOSD was doing. So just the last, I think it's been 40 minutes of, I mean, we've learned so much in that. You packed a lot into that presentation, and I really, really appreciate knowing what we're doing here. So thank you for being here. Do we have any questions or comments from the board? Yes, Trustee Burback.
I just want to thank you for the presentation, all four of you. It emphasized so much over and above just our academic value to our students, that excuse me, your emphasis on the relational capacity is, as a former counselor, of course, it's so important for these kids to see to have a relationship and a mentor, or a group of mentors. And so I just appreciate the program so much for helping kids that may have gone into high school not as successful as they came out. And I thank you all. Thank you.
Yes, definitely. I'll echo Trustee Gorbach's thank yous. Someone who's going through the college application process right now, it is extremely daunting. And even with all the support in the world on Thousand Oaks High School's campus, it is still extremely difficult. I was wondering if you could quickly go a little bit more into detail about the support that AVID students received throughout the actual college applications process, everything from letters of recommendation to understanding what grades to put, not put, how to send SAT scores and things like that.
I think Miles pointed out when he was discussing the really unbreakable link between his role in the classroom and networking with their college and career counselor. We also have an absolutely indispensable college and career counselor on the Thousand Oaks High School campus, and that's Ms. Kelsey Dano. She's in fact coming into my classroom tomorrow to work with primarily the seniors, but juniors as well, who are trying to get a more long-range plan. As I said, we go to visit all of the colleges that come to campus that are of interest to the students. We try to make it a UC, a CSU, an out-of-state, a private, a public. And again, Ms. Dano is instrumental. She also helps the students throughout their 4 years with selecting their dual enrollments, selecting their APs, and she stays in constant touch with them. They know her door is open, and when they want her to come into class, I just pull their interest, and the next thing you know, she's coming in, she's working with them. They're working on letters, which being a former English, well, still English, once an English teacher, always an English teacher. I help edit their writing, and we do very targeted writing exercises in class. We look at the college application itself to decide how can you make yourself stand out? What is unique about you? If you say this, why is that going to catch their eye and their interest? So it is very much a collaboration, and it's supportive. The students know that they have a whole body of people behind them, their regular academic counselor, their college and career counselor, me as their teacher, and they know our doors are open. That's the most important thing, is they know they have access.
That's incredible. Thank you. Yeah, Mrs. Dano is one of the best. I don't know how she has enough time in the day to help us the degree that she does, but she's really awesome. Thank you again.
There's got to be two of her. I mean,
I know.
First of all, thank you for coming and presenting. This was incredibly informative. And what I loved about this presentation was hearing from the teachers, from the three of you who are directly in the classroom. And it's obvious that there's a different flavor on each campus, which I think is appropriate because those are three different campuses. But ending the presentation, hearing directly from students is also incredibly impactful. And hearing the passion in their voices as well as yours, I think made for an excellent presentation. I guess my overriding question, and it was alluded to a couple times about going and recruiting at middle schools, is how are we identifying the students that need this? How are we, I guess for lack of a better word, marketing the AVID program? Are we reaching those students? Do we feel the numbers have grown, so that's obviously an indication of success, but how are we doing this?
So I came from a district that was an Avid district. We had Avid Elementary, we had Avid Middle School, we had Avid High School. By the time the students got to my room, many of them had been in Avid for at least 4 years because they had started it in elementary or even in middle school. So when I came here and started to look for ways to recruit, going to the middle schools, I did a presentation with the staff at Kalina. I did letting them know who is our target audience, who are we looking for. So we relied very heavily on teacher recommendations. Have a great counselor over there that is a champion of Avid at Kalina. She helps out a lot, really helps me organize our recruitment visit there. Do we miss students? Absolutely. I have students come into my class as a junior or a senior, and they should have been in my classroom as a 9th grader. So being able to identify those students and get them into the classroom earlier is a work in progress and definitely room for improvement there. But counselor recommendations, teacher recommendations, those are my primary resources when it comes to who I'm looking at and identifying across campus. So that's just raising Avid awareness amongst staff, both in high school and middle school, so that they are aware. That's where the Avid Summer Institutes, where we send teachers, not just Avid elective teachers, but teachers on our campus, getting them to go to those Avid Summer Institutes so they know what the Avid program is, they know the demographic of student that we're looking for, and they can assist me in identifying those students and getting them into the program. Because there's definitely students that unfortunately we miss, but we'll get them, but we miss them.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
So impressive. Thank you so much for coming and educating us about this work. I think a lot about the students after we shake their hands and hand them diplomas, with strong hopes that we have poured everything into them that we're capable of so that they do succeed. Not a lot of people understand that there are 40 million people in this country who have some college and no degree, and those folks often have a lot of college debt, but they don't have a credential that will move them forward, and they don't have that personal sense of accomplishment. And solving that problem doesn't start in college, it starts right here. And you guys have the winning formula, and it was very clear from hearing it in the voices of our students. So we really are grateful for the work that you're doing. Thank you.
So I'm going to echo the gratitude of everybody for the presentation and the work. I love, like Mr. Gorback, I love that this focuses on relationships, because I think that's the key to life, and the key to happiness and success, no matter who you are. I guess echoing what Trustee Gill just said, seeing the students round out the presentation was amazing. Second, only by watching your faces beam with pride at their words and their accomplishments. I wish people, that will watch this later could have seen that part, because it's very clear that the relationships piece and the work piece is a win-win. It's not just the students that are gaining, it's our educators, and that's what we're all here for as well. And I echo the sentiments about Ms. Dano. She's like the Energizer Bunny, so.
I just want to, I recall a assistant principal that I worked under who said, our job is not just to get kids across the stage in June, but to get kids into a doorway in September. And this program, your presentation, the kids who spoke, emphasized that the goal was not just to successfully get out of high school, but to get in somewhere else. And I just love that, and I love the assistance that you all give.
Go ahead. Also, whoever thought about the pairing with Conejo Valley Adult School, that's brilliant. And the partnership with dual enrollment. I can't tell, my youngest took many dual enrollment classes, had no help navigating. I was useless. We had to go to Moore Park the first time he did it. And to have somebody on that campus know how to navigate that system, that's incredible. So thank you.
We also have a number of avid students that volunteer at Westminster Clinic. And that's a weekly commitment where they apply to that, and they're there on Wednesdays every week. And they do it, some of them starting freshman year all the way through their senior year. So that's another place where they're in the community and really being a valuable service. I tell them, they just shrug it off. They're like, it's no big deal. I tell you, you do not understand how valuable the service is that you guys are providing for your community. Like, oh, should I put this on my college resume, Mr. P? Are you kidding me? Like, there's probably not something bigger than that you could put on your college resume to show the type of person you are. So that's another place where we have numerous avid students that are helping out over there.
So I just had a sort of a logistical question for you. Is the ideal that a student would participate all 4 years of high school? That's the ideal.
Yeah, the ideal is all 4 years because it is one of the only electives that Conejo Valley will give them credit for all 4 years. And so we have to do something different, right? Like we can't be doing the same thing over and over and over again. And so every freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year, everything's a little bit different. The focus is a little bit different. I mean, we could talk about what that is, but that would lengthen it out. But it's the ideal is all 4 years, and that's where that relationship, where like my seniors, I know them, they know me. We have good days, we have bad days. It's a family, right? You have your avid family shirt on, I see right there, right? Like that's what it is. It's an avid family, and in all aspects. We have arguments, we have disagreements, we have good days, we have bad days. We learn how to work through all of that and support each other and help each other and celebrate accomplishments and all those things that go with that. So yeah, all 4 years is ideal, but we'll take it at any time.
Yeah, great. Do
So
we have
just
another
as
question?
piggyback, you just said something that made me think. Do we ever send middle school teachers who are helping you identify students to that summer institute? Would that be helpful?
Well, I think it would definitely be helpful. I got to attend my first summer institute this last summer, and it was fantastic. And like David said, you can't go wrong. You truly leave with tools that you can implement right when you get back. But more importantly, it just provides a network of support too for those teachers. I would love to see teachers, and I know we have these teachers on campus that would benefit from attending an AVID Institute.
Great. Any other questions? Okay. Well, obviously, we're very enthusiastic about hearing from you all. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for letting us share.
If you ever have the urge to come into an AVID classroom, my door is always open. So anybody's welcome to come see what it is, both the good and the bad. So my door is always open.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. And with that, we will move on to item 5B, Human Resources Board of Education appointee to the Personnel Commission. I believe this is Mrs. Ashmore. Or Dr. McLaughlin.
Nate has been a member of our commission for I don't know how many years. Maybe you have a number?
Since 1991.
So it's always great to see him every year or every 2 years willing to come back and serve in this role. He brings a lot of institutional knowledge and understanding of how the classified side of the house works.
Thank you. Any questions, comments?
I just want to say I would have been surprised if it wasn't his name on here. I think I might fall over when that happens.
Okay, and with that, we'll go to 5C, Board Policy 1260, Educational Foundation. Dr. McLaughlin?
Yeah, this is just a gamut update that is including now Prop 28 funding and talking about supplementing and not supplanting clarify some rules and releasing student records and directory information, compliance, and some stuff on district policies. So.
Comments or questions from anybody? Okay. We are at 5D, board discussion of board bylaw 9010. Dr. McLaughlin, I think that's you as well.
Yeah, again, this is just a gamut update. Just talks about the certain legal disclosures of confidential information from board members, how social media can work on your private accounts, and again, just an gamut update. Got Avid on my mind.
I think we all do. Thank you. Any questions, comments? Okay. Then we are at 5E, board committee reports. Do we have any reports from board members? I see Trustee Kearns down there.
Yes, so I'll just cover a little bit about the Wellness Committee, and I don't know if Trustee Goldberg or Trustee Gorbach want to add on to that, but Child Nutritional Services Director Sarah Phillips was there, gave us an excellent presentation, and I spoke to one of her assistant directors after the meeting about the ham and Swiss croissants. And I bring this up because I wasn't aware that there was such a high caliber breakfast item available on our campuses. And so I went and had one this morning, and it was quite good. So that would be, I was told that it was the same as the Starbucks ones, which would happen to be my choice of employment. So I can confirm the ham and Swiss croissants are nearly identical to the Starbucks ones, and they're really good. So, Ellie, you can take that back to Newbury Park. Thank you. Awesome. Excellent. That's all I had to offer about that.
Student voice, see how important it is. Thank you. Okay, yes, Trustee Gorbach, do you want to add?
Well, first of all, I want to congratulate Trustee Trustee Kearns on his dedication to sampling exactly what he heard about from the day before. Nutrition Director Sarah Phillips is so enthusiastic and so successful and wanted to work on the goals of good taste. And she goes to all the students or many of the students and parents and does taste tests, minimizing waste and preserving the environment, and under budget both in procuring food itself and modernizing our prep and storage machines. She and her staff are out on campuses talking to students, conducting taste tests, and working with school and parent groups. So I think it was a great meeting yesterday, and I'm enthusiastic about our Wellness and Nutrition Committee.
Okay, excellent. Any other reports? Any other board committee reports? Okay, seeing none, we will move on to trustee comments, starting with Trustee Kearns.
Good evening, everyone. First and foremost, happy Unity Day. This is a great moment to pause and think about, especially in a society that is so divided on, I could just list the things, pretty much everything, to think about what unifies us, what brings us together, especially from the perspective of preventing bullying and making sure that we're using our voices, especially as student leaders and STAC reps, student journalists even, making sure that you're using your voice to spread good on your campus and intervening if there's bullying incidents that you're seeing, reporting to the proper personnel, and making sure that bullying really has no place on our campus, in my opinion, really starts with the students, and making sure that our student body is well equipped to deal with these sorts of things. And that's kind of what Unity Day is all about. So you'll notice the orange balloon in front of my microphone. You also notice it on the door over there. And several of my colleagues here are wearing orange as well. So thank you to everyone who participated in that. Moving on, I had the privilege of attending Super DAC last week, where we got a great session, including several student DAC reps were there as well. So shout out if you're a student DAC rep who attended. It's really important that we have students there. An amazing session with RISE. And we focused on talking about microaggressions and how those present themselves, on campus, in the workplace, so that sort of thing, and really identifying what a microaggression is and how it impacts people, no matter whether or not you're aware that one is actually occurring, and how it can have those lasting impacts. We also focused on how privilege is not necessarily a bad thing and can mean that you have the power to affect meaningful change and help those who don't have privilege, which I think is a really important message, something I'll definitely be bringing back to our student deck representatives on Monday at our meeting here in this boardroom, shameless plug, and really making sure that our student reps are understanding that it is kind of a privilege to be able to take the time in your day to go to these student deck meetings and to be able to represent the student body, and using that privilege for good and using that privilege to make sure that people who don't have that ability or are underrepresented are represented at student DAC, at the very minimum at student DAC, but really in the entire district. Moving on to the VCSBA dinner that I got the privilege to attend as well. It was a conversation with Senator Monique Limon. I hadn't had the chance to hear from her in person yet, but she was just an incredible speaker, and I learned so much. One key takeaway, I think, she gave a specific example, but I think I took away the concept. She was asked about supporting people with policy, especially at the statewide level, of people experiencing homelessness, supporting people experiencing homelessness. And she spoke about how we kind of need to address the underlying factors about mental health, making sure that actual services, we can give people houses, right? But the actual services and the mental health component and drug addiction and that sort of thing is oftentimes more meaningful even than just getting them housed, because that actually is contributing to sustainable solution, excuse me. And I think the concept of that, of being able to address the underlying issue and making sure that we are really preparing everyone, in our case students, for lasting success is something we do very well here at CVUSD, and is something that I think I've seen all of the administrators and the entire board really take into consideration of how can we get at that root cause and make sure that we're influencing policies that get at the root cause of that and make sure that students are set up for success. And I think that was kind of my biggest takeaway from Senator Limon's conversation that she had. Yeah. And then, again, I'll just say we have an SDAC meeting on October 27th, Monday, here in this room. The dress code is Halloween costumes optional but encouraged. I just want to point that out. I may or may not be attending in mine. You'll have to come and see. And with that, I will conclude my comments this evening. Thank you all for another great board meeting.
Thank you, Trustee Kearns. Next up is Trustee Sylvester.
Good evening. First of all, I want to say it's really nice to be back here. I was sick and missed the last board meeting, and I have to say it is much more interesting and exciting to be here in person versus watching it in the comfort of my bedroom in my slippers, but I'm happy to be back. So just briefly, I want to congratulate the string students who came through earlier from Newbury Park High School and reiterate again that I really enjoy the fact that here at these board meetings, we are recognizing students from all different types of backgrounds and talents, not just athletes and academics, but music, performing arts, et cetera. So that's been wonderful to see. And I'm still have this lingering cough, but I'm happy to be back and at it. Good evening.
Thank you. Next up is Trustee Gill.
Thank you. Unity Day is a favorite. I love seeing all the expressions across the schools, across the entire district, and I can say that I think this is one of those holidays that there's no question the day is no exception. It reflects what we do every single day. So happy Unity Day to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Up next is Trustee Goldberg.
I echo the sentiments about Unity Day, and orange is my least favorite color in general, but today it's been really actually cheery, so sorry, Vishali. I just want to highlight a couple of things. One, in keeping with the annual resolution that we had earlier this morning, item 3B, I had the opportunity to have a conversation with a young woman who is an intern. She goes to Pepperdine, and she's interning in our wellness center at Westlake High School. And she, because I was just asking, what are you doing now? And she said, the entire process has been amazing, that compared to her colleagues that are in her class at Pepperdine, she's having a much better experience, both in mentorship, in practice, in engagement, across the board, and she could not say enough nice things about Jen Julian and Jen Mundy. And it was really heartening to see that what I believe to be true played out with this young Thousand Oaks High School graduate who is at Westlake High School. And she talked about the differences and how she's really enjoying that piece of it as well, giving back to her community, but really about the mentorship and the process here at CVUSD. So kudos to those people. I had the joy of spending the street fair with our friends at CVUSD. Thank you to the M&O people who get up really early on a Sunday to help set that up. But what I really enjoyed most was watching our educators, and in particular, our assistant soup of instruction, Kenny Lou, get down on TK level and engage with students or kids from the entire community, played games with them. He gave them candy, which is a favorite of mine. The whole thing was great, and the number of people that just stopped by and left feeling great about CVUSD was heartening. So thank you to all who came out for that. And with that, I'm going to say good night and happy Unity Day.
Thank you. Trustee Gorbach.
Good evening. So, Unity Day. First of all, congratulations to our string musicians that we honored earlier. What a fantastic achievement. Unity Day, you know, I went to Super DAC, as the other trustees did, went to Westlake's band concert, Thousand Oaks' choir showcase, Sequoia's strings last night, and Unified Sports this morning. Frisbee golf, I mean, all the different activities that they had. And also, right here last week, CVHS's Students of the Quarter. First of all, the Students of the Quarter exemplified what Mr. Pulsifer and Mr. Minton were saying a few minutes ago, relational capacity. The relationship between the teachers here and the students builds that capacity that you have kids that came in for one reason or another. They didn't have credits, whatever the reason was, but they build a relationship with their adults, their mentors, and go on to success, both personally as well as academically. And you see the love as teachers talk about what that student provides for them, and you see the just the blooming of the family as they sit here and listen to their child be lauded like that. But all of these things, all the activities, the music concerts, the excuse me, the Unity Day, all the games that they played today, was such an emphasis on all the different elements of our district unifying together to make success. And I just wanted to, I mean, every time I go to something and see the harmony, I use that entendre, double entendre with the music concerts, and everyone working together to make us the district that we are. I get so proud, and I just hope that Unity Day doesn't just end at 12 midnight tonight, it continues on for throughout the year. So I want to thank our district for being what it is, for the unity that we employ, and for all the effort and that everyone works together to make success. And with that, good night.
Thank you. Good evening. I'm happy to be here. I do have comments on a few things. Congratulations to our Newbury Park High School string musicians. I also wanted to say congratulations to Trustee Kearns for an award that he received this weekend, the Young Democrat of the Year, awarded by the Ventura County Democratic Party. I was able to be there to see him get his award, and wanted to just comment on a couple of the things that Trustee Kearns said and did. First of all, after his remarks, he invited all the school board trustees in the room to come up on stage for a picture. And so I just thought that that was a really great example of inclusive leadership, acknowledging that none of us do anything by ourselves, and also just honoring that commitment of people in the room that are very dedicated to students and schools. So it's just a very thoughtful gesture and really, I think, indicative of your leadership. Secondly, he took time in his comments to talk about the importance of communicating and connecting with people different than us. Whether it's somebody across the political aisle, whether it's somebody that just sees things a different way than us, who has a different style, whatever it may be, just making that effort to make those connections just sort of makes the world a better place. And I appreciated that he chose to use his time to make those comments. So congratulations. Proud of you. Last week, we all have many invitations to go to lots of places. And I was looking at Friday night, and I had some options, some district related, some not, and didn't really know what I was going to do. But I think as many people these days in our strange world we're living in, I was feeling a little bit stressed out. And I woke up Friday morning and I realized the choice was clear. I needed music. And so luckily we had been invited by Amy Rolniak. I probably said her name wrong. Is that right? Okay, thank you. To the Westlake High School choral concert for that weekend. And so I was just ecstatic to get to go see that on Friday night. And it was exactly what I needed. It was the lift I needed. The title of the concert was Cover Me in Sunshine. And that's pretty much what it was. So just joyous, joyful, beautiful music. So thank you to the Westlake High School singers, director, accompanist, music therapist, and anybody else involved in that program. And then finally, Unity Day. I was able to get over to Westlake High School today to catch a little bit of that. What a great way to celebrate today. And I know that a lot of work went into it, and a lot of people, a lot of students and adults and staff and volunteers. Bullying is something that we can all play a role in addressing, whether it's at a school site, whether it's in the workplace, whether it's between students, whether it's between adults. So I just wanted to say thank you to anybody who works really hard to address bullying in all of its forms. You're making the world a kinder, better place for all of us, so thank you for that. And that is it from me, Dr. McLaughlin.
I have two shout outs this evening. I'd like to give a shout out first to Aspen Elementary Principal, Dr. Craven, for being honored last week through the Autism Society of Ventura County. I think that was last Thursday night, so congratulations to him. And then we had 5 schools that were identified as honor roll schools through the Educational Results Partnership for their high academic achievement and student success, and that is Acacia, Maple Elementary, Walnut, Lang Ranch, and Sycamore Canyon. So congratulations to them. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. We are now at Area 6A, future board topics. Are there any topics that board members would like to add to our list? I don't see any. I was going to just put out there and suggest, I know we've already discussed the fact that we are going to be having some technology-related policies updated, maybe discussing new policies, maybe some AI in there, probably like January, February. I just wanted to see if you thought it was worth putting it on the list so people know that we are going to be addressing that early in the year.
Yes, definitely.
Anyone? I see nods over here. Everybody good? Okay.
We're going to lean heavy towards February.
Yeah, I'm not putting any
February,
time frame on it.
March.
Just okay. Great. Thank you. TBD. Thank you. So seeing no other agenda items, we are adjourned at 7:34 p.m. Thank you, everybody.